Interesting question we got to ask ourselves in current year. Can adults no longer consent? If that adult is a woman and she withdraws her consent after the fact, then yes. Quite a few years ago, Scott and I had an op-ed in, as I recall, the Orange County Register on the Playboy philosophy. I don't recall what prompted it, but one point we made was that the idea that two or more consenting adults can do whatever the heck they want in the privacy of their bedroom, the bedrock principle of the Playboy philosophy as we know it in the 1960s, was perhaps the most universally accepted moral rule in contemporary America. And then false accusations came in. Now, as it turns out, that was then, this is now. Consent is no longer enough. Yeah, especially when you can retroactively withdraw consent. So the latest case in point is that of David Sabatini, said to be one of the world's great scientists. That's another guy that's probably going to be pushed to China if this keeps up. It's coming. His career was derailed because a former lover has now turned on him. It's a sad story, certainly for Sabatini and maybe for the rest of us, as his cancer research is among the world's most promising. Sabatini was forced out of MIT and his career has been downhill from here. I'm quite sure China would be more than happy to hire you, is all I'm going to say. China would love to have you. So David Sabatini, 54, whose research involved unraveling how tumors develop, resigned from MIT last month and has been surviving on unemployment after fellow alleged scientist Kristen Noce claimed he groomed and coerced her into a sexual relationship, according to a report in court papers. So she must have been some minor, right? Like she must have been like 13 years old when she was quote unquote groomed. Nah, of course not. There's more to this story. So he has gone from MIT, so NYU tried to hire one of the world's top scientists. A longtime friend and dean at NYU Grossman School of Medicine tried to offer him a job, but after an uproar, the school announced on May 3rd that it would not hire him, despite the fact that colleagues described him in a recent article as one of the world's greatest scientists, a genius in line for a Nobel Prize. Not going to be able to do that in the U.S. now. So what happened? Sabatini had the ill luck to fall into a romantic relationship with the wrong Whammons. What wormhole did my life take to protests and being called a sexual predator? What quirk in the universe allowed this to happen? Said Sabatini, who has denied wrongdoing, noted that Noce did not work in his lab or report to him. In an October lawsuit against MIT, Sabatini said that his relationship with Noce, who is 21 years his junior, was consensual. Sabatini had contended that he and Noce began their fling in a current year -4 conference while he was in the midst of a divorce. You should have learned from your divorce to not screw around anymore. By current year -2, he thought the affair had cooled, but though he claims Noce wanted it to continue. By October of current year -2, she complained she'd been harassed and in a later lawsuit alleged Sabatini oversaw a sexualized environment in his lab. I take it there's no dispute that Sabatini and Noce's fling was consensual. Rather, Noce now says that Sabatini groomed her into a sexual relationship. It's a novel theory, but let's do the math. Sabatini is now 54 years old. Noce is 21 years his junior. Their consensual relationship began in current year -4. So she had to have been 29 years old. A little long in the tooth for grooming. So if this is allowed to stand, then you can't even have a sexual relationship with a woman in her late 20s without her pulling the grooming card anymore. Seriously? You guys keep pushing this, then you're going to be asking where have all the good men gone real damn quick. Currently, there's a battle going on in Florida over grooming of 5 to 8-year-olds in the public schools, where some teachers want to instruct small children in deviant sexual practices. Liberals vehemently oppose any bans on such grooming. On the other hand, liberals say grooming of a 29-year-old scientist? Outrageous! Ban the groomer for life. That is a funny double standard, isn't it? They're all for grooming kids, but quote-unquote grooming 29-year-olds? Oh, lock that guy up! It isn't just ban the groomer either. Any who have come into contact with him may be radioactive. After the Grossman School of Medicine announced it would not hire him, the National Institute of Health decided to audit $500 million in grant money overseen by the dean who first considered bringing him aboard, Common Sense reported. This is why you need to be as financially independent as possible, because they will take everything from you if they can. So on the left, it is scorched earth every day. Until they start losing, then they're going to demand mercy from you. Remember that. So if you have ever engaged in a voluntary consensual romantic relationship and assume no one has the right to investigate and second guess it, forget it. If it is politically convenient for liberals, the Playboy philosophy is out the window. Consent is no defense. Yeah, remember when it used to be the left that was all about what two consenting adults do in their bedroom is their business? Not anymore. So the liberals' underlying assumption is that whammons can never be adults. Yeah, TFM's right. They just treat them like children. No matter how old they may be, no matter how many graduate degrees they may amass, women are never free actors. They can only ever be playthings in the hands of men. Do you believe that? Probably not, but that's what liberals think, and our culture is awash in such nonsense. And that's another double standard for them, too. If they truly believe that, then why are women allowed to vote if they never grow up and are always children? Like, it doesn't make sense that they are precious beings that need to be protected from everything because they can't make their own decisions on one hand, but on the other hand, they're allowed all the privileges that come with someone who is autonomous and free. It makes no sense.